Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. We are back with lecture number 15 for English comprehension and composition. Before we move on to objectives for today's lecture, you were told before that this course basically comprises of three important components. The first one was comprehension, grammar, and then writing. The first component comprised of various comprehension skills, reading comprehension skills, and we did a lot of exercises to help you enhance your reading comprehension skills. The second component was grammar. We did verb tense, subject-verb agreement, prepositions, determiners and articles, and punctuation marks, and one or two other very important aspects of English grammar in this section. Now the third section that we are going to move on to today is writing. Writing is a very important skill regarding English language. It is one skill that is creative as compared to other skills, because you have to create something new, you have to think about it and write it on a piece of paper. So let's start off with today's component, that is pre-writing techniques. We are going to talk about all the possible pre-writing techniques in today's lecture. Before we actually start writing, we have to go through some important techniques that help us gather material for our writing. For example, if you are given an essay to write, you just don't start off writing right away from the first word till the end. You first think about the topic. If you already know something about the topic, you note all that information down, or you might have to research that topic, or you have to read some articles or magazines or books, or meet people to gather information about that topic if you don't have any at that moment. So these are basic pre-writing techniques. We are going to talk about pre-writing techniques in a lot of detail in this lecture, all the possible pre-writing techniques that are used and how they are used with their examples. And in the coming lectures, we are going to do the activities or practice on all those pre-writing techniques. Now this one is a very important handout, a very comprehensive one, and that would help you gather as much information about pre-writing techniques as possible. All the pre-writing techniques are separately described here, how you go about them, what they are, how you use them while you're writing something on a topic. So let's begin. Pre-writing strategies use writing to generate and clarify ideas. While many writers have traditionally created outlines before beginning writing, there are other possible pre-writing techniques. Now, one basic pre-writing technique is creating an outline. That is done by almost every person who starts writing about something. Even if you're writing a newspaper article, you're writing an editorial, you are writing a letter, or you are writing a novel or a short story or an essay. You have to develop an outline. What will be the basic points that you are going to talk about in that topic? That is what an outline is. So this is one very basic pre-writing technique. Many writers use this technique, but there are other very important, very specific pre-writing techniques that are sometimes also used. 5 useful strategies are brainstorming, clustering, free writing, looping, and asking the 6 journalistic questions or journalists' questions. So these are the 5 strategies that we're going to talk about today. In the other handouts that are coming up, the same techniques are repeated, but there are 1 or 2 that are new. We'll keep adding on them during today's lecture. So we have 5 useful strategies that are most commonly used, that is brainstorming, clustering, free writing, looping, and asking the 6 journalists' questions. So let's start off with brainstorming. Now, as the word brainstorming suggests, it is a kind of a storm in your brain. As soon as you are given a topic or you're asked to write something, whether it's an article, it's an essay, it's a short story or a poem even, there is a huge storm or great flow of ideas in your mind. But you have to jot all of them down first and then pick up some important ones. That is called brainstorming. Brainstorming, also called listing, is a process of generating a lot of information within a short time by building on the association of previous terms you have mentioned. Now, brainstorming basically is listing. It's the simple name for brainstorming is listing, and that is that you everything that comes to your mind, you list all those ideas down and then pick important information from there. Now, some important points are written about brainstorming, how to do it. Jot down all the possible terms that emerge from the general topic you are thinking about. If whatever topic you are given, any general ideas that come to your mind that are supposed to be jotted down in the form of a list, you have to either number them 1 2 3 और bulleted points में उनको लिखते हैं, लेकिन एक list की form में होता है. This procedure works especially well if you work in a team. Now, sometimes in a classroom, brainstorming technique is used within a group of students. A topic is given to a group of students, and they are asked to brainstorm that topic, and what they are supposed to do is that they think among themselves and make a list of all the possible ideas that are there in their minds. So when there are many minds, they gather up a great resource of ideas, and when those ideas are later elaborated upon, it becomes a very good piece of writing. So this particular technique works in a team very good. All team members can generate ideas with one member acting as scribe. Now, scribe is a person who keeps writing it. Don't worry about editing or throwing out what might not be a good idea. Simply write down a lot of possibilities. Now, with brainstorming, one thing is very important, that is, at that point when you are listing down all the ideas, you don't have to worry about grammar, spelling, or sentence structure, or any other linguistic feature of your writing. You just have to jot down all the points that are coming in your mind, and later on think about them and edit them and pick up the correct or relevant information. At that point, you are not worried. You should not be worried about editing or throwing out what is not a good idea. Simply write down a lot of possibilities, and when you're working in a team, there are many possible ideas that can come, many general things, many specific, there can be many examples, so list all of them down. Next, group the items that you have listed according to arrangements that make sense to you. Group the items that you have listed according to arrangements that make sense to you. Now, whenever you're writing or composing a piece of information, a piece of writing, you have to have a proper sequence. जिस तरह आपके माइंड में बातें आ रही होती हैं, आप उसी तरह से लिखते नहीं जाते. You have to have a sequence when you are actually writing the neat draft of that thing. जब आप रफ लिख रहे हैं, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. And then at the second step, what you have to do out of that long list is that you have to group those items according to the arrangement that you want to make. अब आप अगर इंट्रोडक्शन की कुछ बातें हैं जो मिक्स अप लिखी हैं, आप इंट्रोडक्शन के पॉइंट्स को अलग कर लेंगे, जो एग्जाम्पल्स हैं उन्हें अलग करेंगे, एक्सप्लेनेशंस को अलग कर लेंगे. नाउ दिस इज जनरल. व्हेन वी कम अप टू स्पेसिफिक एग्जाम्पल्स, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग इज इन एन इवन बेटर वे. गिव ईच ग्रुप अ लेबल. Now you have a topic with possible points of development. Now this stage is very important and crucial in brainstorming, that you have to group or give each particular group of ideas a label or a heading. So what that does is that it helps you make a list of possible points that you can develop later. For example, if you're writing an essay, there are some points that relate to the introduction of the topic that you're given. So write the heading introduction and put all those points under that heading, so you know that your introduction will comprise of these points, and then later on when you start writing the essay, you can easily elaborate upon them. Write a sentence about the label you have given the group of ideas. Now you have a topic sentence or possibly a thesis statement. Now it's as easy as that. Now what you have to do is that every label that you have given to each paragraph or each section of your writing, उस label के बारे में एक sentence लिखें. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इंट्रोडक्शन है, आपके जो भी टॉपिक है उसका इंट्रोडक्शन है, उस इंट्रोडक्शन के बारे में जस्ट राइट अ वेरी जनरल, वेरी वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड सेंटेंस, एंड दैट सेंटेंस वुड बी योर टॉपिक सेंटेंस. दैट इज, हर पैराग्राफ का जो पहला सेंटेंस होता है वो टॉपिक सेंटेंस होता है. सो दैट वुड बिकम अ टॉपिक सेंटेंस. और अ पॉसिबल थीसिस स्टेटमेंट. थीसिस स्टेटमेंट का मतलब होता है मेन आइडिया और बेसिक पॉइंट जो आप उस पैराग्राफ या उस एस्से में डेवलप कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज हाउ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग वर्क्स. Now we move on to our second pre-writing technique, that is clustering. Now, as the word suggests, you have an image of a cluster in your mind, things that are gathered together. But this is a little technical in the sense that it's a very scientific structure, scientific cluster that you have to make. Clustering is also called mind mapping or idea mapping. Now, mind mapping, you must have heard about it before, or you might have tried it in your classes. Clustering is another name for mind mapping or idea mapping. It is a strategy that allows you to explore the relationships between ideas. Now, this pre-writing technique is basically more important with those essays or those pieces of writings which are there to for you to explore the relationships between things. ऐसा कोई essay या piece of writing आपको लिखने के लिए मिले तो आप उसके लिए clustering की pre-writing technique इस्तेमाल करेंगे. Put the subject in the center of a page, circle or underline it. Now this is how you do clustering. You put the main topic, your topic, in the center of the page, and there is all the space around is empty, and you have to write there. As you think of other ideas, link the new ideas to the central circles with lines. Now, looking at the topic, as ideas keep coming to your mind, pick each idea, write it on a separate space around that circle, and circle that and link it with the previous topic circle. That would be a kind of a map that is ready for you to elaborate upon later on. As you think of ideas that relate to the new ideas, add to those in the same way. Now, if you have given a second circle to your topic, और उस circle में लिखे हुए points से related कुछ points आपके mind में आ रहे हैं, तो उस circle के इर्द गिर्द lines लगा के आप वहाँ से branches बना दें उन ideas की, और वहाँ पे वो ideas note करते जाएं. So this would turn out to be a kind of a cluster of ideas that would help you develop your essay or piece of writing later. The result will look like a web on your page. It would be a kind of a web on the page that you're writing on. Locate clusters of interest to you and use the terms you attach to the key ideas as departure points for your paper. Now, if you are writing a research paper, or you are given an essay or any other piece of writing, you can use this technique. And later on, you can pick up areas of interest from there, और उनको फिर आप अपने essay या paper के लिए elaborate कर लें. Clustering is especially useful in determining the relationship between ideas. You will be able to distinguish how the ideas fit together, especially where there is an abundance of ideas. Now, when you have so many ideas that your cluster is totally a big web of ideas और वो पूरे पेज पे फैला हुआ है, तो उसमें से आप आसानी से अपने टॉपिक से रिलेटेड आइडियाज़ पिक करके और उनको elaborate कर सकते हैं. So that would become a lot of work that is easier for you, as there are abundance or plenty of ideas. Clustering your ideas lets you see them visually in a different way, so that you can more readily understand possible directions your paper may take. Now, at the starting point, you might not know where your essay topic would take you. Maybe you have to change it later on, maybe you have to keep it specific to a point. So clustering will help you determine that. Looking at all the possible ideas that are there on the page, you can easily understand कि आपको कुछ ideas इसमें से निकालने हैं और कुछ को use करना है. Now, another very important pre-writing technique is free writing. Now, as the name suggests, free writing is writing freely for as much time as you are given, and whatever comes to your mind is supposed to be shifted onto the paper. Free writing is a process of generating a lot of information by writing non-stop. It allows you to focus on a specific topic, but forces you to write so quickly that you are unable to edit any of your ideas. Now, the important point in free writing is that you are not supposed to pick your pen off the paper. आपको मुसलसल लिखते रहना है जितना भी टाइम आपको दिया है. If your teacher asks you to write for 10 minutes, you're supposed to keep on writing for 10 minutes, whatever comes in your mind. You have to put it on a piece of paper. और पेन जो है वो पेपर के ऊपर से हटाना नहीं है, लिखते जाना है जितना टाइम आपको दिया जा रहा है उसमें. And with this technique you write quickly because you are not given any time to edit your ideas. आप वापस जाके उन ideas में cross करके punctuation, spelling, grammar ठीक नहीं कर सकते because उसका time नहीं होता. आपको जल्दी जल्दी free writing करनी होती है. And this is a pre-writing technique. At this point in time you are not supposed to worry about grammar, structure या spelling के बारे में किसी किस्म की गलतियों के बारे में आपको परेशान होने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती because बाद में आप free writing या कोई भी pre-writing technique जो आप यूज़ करें उस पर वापस आते हैं और उसको एडिट करके उसको ठीक करते हैं. तो जब आप वो प्री राइटिंग टेक्निक कर रहे हैं उस वक्त इन चीज़ों के बारे में परेशान होने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती. Now the points related to free writing. Free write on the assignment or general topic for several or 5 to 10 minutes non-stop. Now non-stop means you have to write quickly. You are not supposed to stop. You are not supposed to remove your pen from the paper. Force yourself to continue writing even if nothing specific comes to your mind. This is how free writing works. This free writing will include many ideas. At this point, generating ideas is what is important, not the grammar or the spelling. So as I just told you that it's important that you generate ideas at this point while you're doing free writing. You are not supposed to worry about grammar or spelling. After you're finished free writing, look back over what you have written and highlight the most prominent and interesting ideas. Then you can begin all over again with a tighter focus. You will narrow your topic and in the process you will generate several relevant points about the topic. Now free writing works in steps. It is first done to gather general information about a topic. Then you highlight some important specific points from your free writing that relate to one specific idea related to that topic. और फिर दोबारा जो free writing आप करते हैं वो उस topic से related करते हैं. और with a tighter focus, that means फिर आप उसी टॉपिक के ऊपर फोकस करते हैं और उसके बारे में एक फ्री राइटिंग का पैराग्राफ आपके पास आ जाता है. फिर उसमें से आप हाईलाइट करते हैं पॉइंट्स तो आपके पास स्टेप वाइज बहुत से डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं. एंड दोज पॉइंट्स कैन बी यूज लेटर ऑन टू डेवलप अ वेरी गुड कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एसे. नाउ अनदर important pre-writing technique, next one is looping. Looping is a free writing technique that allows you to increasingly focus your ideas in trying to discover a writing topic. You loop one 5 to 10 minute free writing after another, so you have a sequence of free writings, each more specific than the other. The same rules that apply to free writing apply to looping. Write quickly, do not edit, and do not stop. Now फ्री राइटिंग जब आप करते हैं तो उसमें एक फ्री राइटिंग करके दूसरी उसमें से स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट्स निकाल के दूसरी फ्री राइटिंग करते हैं. उस प्रोसेस को हम कहते हैं लूपिंग. Looping is a free writing technique. It is related to free writing, not pre-writing. Of course, both are pre-writing techniques, but looping is closely related to free writing in the sense that you loop together or connect together the first free writing, then the second one, and then the third one. And in doing that, you get very specific points regarding your topic. And then there are three important things: write quickly, do not edit, and do not stop. That's what is important in this case. Free write on an assignment for 5 to 10 minutes. Then read through your free writing, looking for interesting topics, ideas, phrases, or sentences. Circle those you find interesting. A variation on looping is to have a classmate circle ideas in your free writing that interests him or her. Now, important point regarding this is that the first free writing that you do on any topic that you are given, you do it for 5 to 10 minutes. Then read through your free writing, look for interesting topics, phrases, words, or sentences, and circle them because they are interesting, or highlight them and keep that free writing with you. And you can also ask one of your classmates to do this highlighting or circling thing for you, because during free writing, what might not interest you according to the topic might interest the other person. So इससे आपके पास एक proper अनबायस्ड इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो इकट्ठी हो जाएगी, जिसमें आप अपनी फ्री राइटिंग के हिसाब से ऑफ कोर्स यू विल ट्राई टू चूज मोर पॉइंट्स. सो व्हेन द अदर पर्सन डज इट, तो वो अपने इंटरेस्ट के हिसाब से ज़्यादा स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट्स को पिक करेंगे. सो दैट वुड बी मोर क्लियर एंड कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव. Then free write again for 5 to 10 minutes on one of the circled topics. Now what you have to do in looping is that while the फर्स्ट फ्री राइटिंग जो आपने की उसमें जो टॉपिक्स जो फ्रेजेस सेंटेंसेस को आपने हाईलाइट किया, अब उनमें से किसी एक के ऊपर आप फ्री राइटिंग करें. यू शुड एंड अप विद अ मोर स्पेसिफिक फ्री राइटिंग अबाउट अ पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. अब और ज़्यादा आप टाइटर फोकस के साथ, ज़्यादा स्पेसिफिक फोकस के साथ आप उस टॉपिक के ऊपर लिखेंगे, ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन, इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन आपके पास आएगी. एंड यू हैव टू फ्री राइट अगैन फॉर 5 to 10 minutes. लूप योर फ्री राइटिंग अगैन, circling another interesting topic, idea, phrase or sentence. When you have finished 4 or 5 rounds of looping, you will begin to have specific information that indicates what you are thinking about and particular topic. You may even have the basis for a tentative thesis or an improved idea for an approach to your assignment when you have finished. Now this is called looping, that you keep doing free writing until you find a great resource of ideas, phrases or sentences that relate to your topic. You can even have a very tentative basis or basic draft of a thesis. इतने ज़्यादा ideas तब तक इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं. And from every free writing you choose one specific topic and do another free writing on it. The last technique in this handout is the journalistic questions or journalists' questions. Journalists traditionally ask 6 questions when they are writing assignments. 5 W's and 1 how. 5 W is who, what, where, when, why, and 1 question is how. You can use these questions to explore the topic you are writing about for an assignment. A key to using the journalist questions is to make them flexible enough to account for the specific details of your topic. For instance, if your topic is the rise and fall of the Puget Sound tides and its effect on salmon spawning, you may have very little to say about who, if your focus doesn't account for human development. Now, salmon is the name of a fish, and then it's a particular sound tide that affects the salmon salmon's movement inside the water. But of course in this case you simply cannot ask the question of who, because it's not related to human development. On the other hand, some topics may be heavy on the who, especially if human involvement is a crucial part of the topic. And similarly, with some other topics, there will be a lot of who questions. So it totally depends on your topic, how many questions out of these 5 W's and 1 how question that you have to ask according to your topic. Possible generic questions you can ask using the 6 journalist questions follow. Now these are possibilities of these questions that can occur. You still have to be very focused according to your topic. We'll be talking about an important example of journalist questions later on, and then you will have a very clear idea about what you have to do and how you have to use journalist questions. The first question is who. Who are the participants? Who is affected? Who are the primary actors? Who are the secondary actors? Now if you're talking about a movie, a conference, a theater performance, so who से related ये सब questions पूछे जा सकते हैं. Similarly, if you are being given a topic to write on inflation, and that is महंगाई in Urdu, so वहाँ पर आप ये पूछ सकते हैं who is affected. आपकी महंगाई का जो प्रॉब्लम है पाकिस्तान में, उससे इफ़ेक्ट सबसे ज़्यादा कौन हो रहा है. सो ये क्वेश्चन वहाँ रिलेट होगा. सो आउट ऑफ ऑल दीज 4 डिफरेंट पॉसिबिलिटीज़ यू आर सपोज टू चूज़ कि आपको कहाँ कौन सी इस्तेमाल करनी है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज़ what is the topic, what is the significance of the topic, what is the basic problem, what are the issues. सो व्हाट क्वेश्चंस की ये सब पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हो सकती हैं जो आपके टॉपिक के हिसाब से वेरी करेंगी, डिफरेंट होंगी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज़ वेयर. where does the activity take place, where does the problem or issue have its source, like where does the problem come from, at what place is the cause or effect of the problem most visible, and where can you see the problem most visible, where can you get more and more examples of the problem, whatever the problem is. So where का question आप इन 3 possibilities में इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. When is the issue most apparent? Past, present, future, what time? So that's one thing that is important regarding when. When tells you the time of the action happening, whatever you are exploring. When did the issue or problem develop? When did it start? What happened later? When did it begin? These are the questions you can ask regarding when. What historical forces helped shape the problem or issue, and at what point in time will the problem or issue culminate in a crisis? Now, whatever the problem or issue that you're talking about, you have to trace its historical background, and that relates to when. When did it start? How many people were affected in the beginning, and now with the passage of time, uska advent जो है वो कहाँ तक हो चुका है? When is action needed to address the issue or problem? Like when does the issue become such a problem कि आप उसको ज़रूर हल करें उस टाइम पे. So ये सब possibilities हो सकती हैं when के question की. We move on to why. Why did the issue or problem rise? Now why describes the reason of something happening. So whatever topic you are exploring, why will give you the reason to that. So जब आप why का question पूछेंगे तो you have to keep in mind कि उसको बहुत specific रखना है, and you have to keep it focused. Why did the issue or problem arise? Why is it the topic an issue or problem at all? If you are given the topic of child labor, why is it an issue? What are the implications? Why do we call child labor an issue? Isn't it all right for children to work even from younger age? So उसके साथ ही related बहुत से questions आपके mind में आएंगे, जिनके जब आप answer देंगे तो वो एक possible pieces of information बनेंगे जो आपके essay या जो भी आप लिख रहे हैं उसमें help करेंगे. Why did the issue or problem develop in the way that it did? Why? मतलब reason, उसका जो भी चीज़ है उसका reason आपको बताना है why के questions में. So why कि ये 3 different possibilities हो सकती हैं that you will choose according to the topic you are asked to write on. हर question हर topic से relate नहीं करेगा, जो different questions हैं वो vary करेंगे, so that is totally on you. And the last question is how. How is the issue or problem significant? How is it important? How can it be addressed? See, now we move on to the solution of the problem. For example, if you talk about pollution, you first give the definition, who का question उसमें relate होगा कि who is affected, what is pollution, what are the various different kinds, right? So different kinds, soil pollution, water pollution, air pollution, land pollution, सब का जिक्र करेंगे. Where कहाँ पे होती हैं, दुनिया में किन मुल्कों में ज़्यादा है, कहाँ कम है, और क्या वजह हैं कि ये बढ़ रही है सारी दुनिया में. When like the problem, of course when का question exactly आप ये नहीं कर सकते कि land pollution कब होती है और ये वो, लेकिन आप ये बता सकते हैं कि when did the problem become such an issue कि उसका solution जो है वो बहुत ज़रूरी हो गया. Why? Of course why का question pollution के topic से बहुत ज़्यादा relate करेगा. आपको हर किस्म की पोल्यूशन के बारे में बताना है कि वो क्यों होती है, हम क्या गलतियां करते हैं कि हम वाटर पोल्यूशन बढ़ा रहे हैं, व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट वी आर डूइंग रॉन्ग दैट आर इंक्रीजिंग लैंड पोल्यूशन एंड देन वाटर पोल्यूशन एज वेल. And then when we move on to how, we are supposed to talk about why or how is the problem significant. Of course pollution का problem significant है because it is imperative for human beings to live in a clean and hygienic environment. How can it be addressed? Now at this point in time we are going to talk about the solution of the issue. जो भी problem है, पोल्यूशन फॉर एग्जांपल, हम बताएंगे कि इसको कैसे ख़त्म किया जाए. हाउ डज इट अफेक्ट द पार्टिसिपेंट्स, हुएवर इज़ अफेक्टेड उसके ऊपर असर कैसे हो रहा है. हाउ कैन द इश्यू और प्रॉब्लम बी रिजॉल्व्ड. नाउ देन वी कैन इन द एंड लास्ट पैराग्राफ वी कैन गिव 4-5 वेरियस सजेशंस जिनमें आप ये बताएं कि हम पोल्यूशन का प्रॉब्लम रिजॉल्व कैसे कर सकते हैं. The journalist questions are a powerful way to develop a great deal of information about a topic very quickly. Learning to ask the appropriate questions about a topic takes practice, however. At times during writing an assignment, you may wish to go back and ask the journalist questions again to clarify important points that may be getting lost in your planning and drafting. Now, regarding journalist questions, what is important is that you need practice. The more you practice, the better you become in asking the questions. And learning how to ask questions is very crucial to developing a good piece of writing. And that again is important while you're writing your assignment. You might have to go back and ask those questions again because आपके पास अभी भी कोई specific information missing है और आप वापस वो वाले questions दोबारा revise करें तो information और ज़्यादा आएगी. So that's how it is while doing pre-writing. One important thing is that at this point in time you can always go back and change whatever you have done. जब तक आपके पास एक proper rough draft की form में material नहीं आ जाता, आप कोई भी 2-3 प्री राइटिंग टेक्निक्स इस्तेमाल करके अपने एस्से या टॉपिक से रिलेटेड रेलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठी कर सकते हैं. एंड बाय द टाइम यू एंड प्री राइटिंग you have a sufficient amount of resources जिन्हें आप अपना essay या कोई भी piece of writing लिखने के लिए इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. Now let's go through another handout that gives some more detail to all the pre-writing techniques that we have talked about just now. So that this is a kind of a revision or review of the information that we have already discussed, but a little more detail. What is pre-writing? Pre-writing is the first stage of the writing process and the point at which we discover and explore our initial ideas about a subject that we have to write about. This is the initial step at which point we just explore and discover what we have to write about. Pre-writing helps us to get our ideas on paper, though not usually in an organized form. At this point in time, while doing pre-writing, your ideas are not organized. They are rough, they are mixed up, they are not organized, and they are not in proper sequence. And brainstorm thoughts that might eventually make their way into our writing. So these are the things that are important regarding pre-writing. While doing pre-writing, things are never organized. Your grammar is wrong, you misspell the words, आपका सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर गलत होता है, बहुत सी इन्फॉर्मेशन जो पैराग्राफ में या आपके ऐसे में शुरू में आनी चाहिए वो आपको बाद में याद आ रही होती है. लेकिन एट दिस पॉइंट इसमें कोई मसला नहीं है. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू एट द प्री राइटिंग स्टेज इज दैट यू हैव टू गैदर एज मच इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट द टॉपिक एज पॉसिबल. चाहे वो किसी से बात करके हासिल करें, अपने माइंड से निकालें, या किताब पढ़ के, या इंटरनेट से, या कोई मैगज़ीन आर्टिकल पढ़ के, या कोई वेबसाइट विजिट करके वहाँ से कोई आर्टिकल पढ़ के आप करें. So any possible ways. Listed below are some of the most common types of pre-writing techniques. You should become familiar with all of these and figure out the one that works best for you. Now, it's not necessary to use all the pre-writing techniques for an essay or a topic that you are given. In this course, you will be asked to write a paragraph, then an essay, and you also have to summarize an essay or a longer piece of writing. So what you will be asked to write is a paragraph and an essay. सो जब पैराग्राफ और एस्से लिखते हैं तो उसमें आपके एस्से की एक स्पेसिफिक लेंथ होती है जो आपने डेवलप करनी है, और उसके लिए आपको इनमें से कोई एक प्री राइटिंग टेक्निक भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं जो आपको लगे कि आपके टॉपिक के साथ बहुत क्लोजली रिलेट कर रही है. यू शुड बिकम फेमिलियर विद ऑल ऑफ दीज एंड फिगर आउट द वन दैट वर्क्स बेस्ट फॉर यू. द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्री राइटिंग दैट वी विल एक्सप्लोर हियर आर फ्री राइटिंग, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, clustering, and journalistic questions. Now we have 4 techniques here. Let's go through them because there are all 4 that we have already studied. It's just a review with examples. Now this handout is different in the sense that we have examples of each pre-writing technique. First of all, we have free writing. Free writing involves jotting down on paper all of the ideas you have on a particular topic before you even begin to read about it or do research. Now, free writing basically is gathering all the information on piece of paper before you even start writing about your essay. So this is again, as I have already told you, it's basically pouring all your mind onto the piece of paper. जो भी दिमाग में आ रहा है वो लिखते जाते हैं, और कोई भी किसी भी किस्म की टॉपिक से रिलेटेड रिसर्च करने से पहले यही चीज़ की जाती है. You are not worried about complete sentences, proper spelling or correct punctuation and grammar. You don't even have to write complete sentences. You just have to note down everything that comes to your mind and separate it with the full stop or a comma or a dash or anything that you feel can serve the purpose. और आपकी फ्री राइटिंग जो है वो एक पैराग्राफ की फॉर्म में होती है, और ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग एक लिस्ट की फॉर्म में होती है, और क्लस्टरिंग या माइंड मैपिंग इज इन द मैप फॉर्म्स. ये डिफरेंस आपको हमेशा जो है वो याद रखना है इनका. इंस्टेड यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन डंपिंग ऑल ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन यू हैव ऑन पेपर. डंप का मतलब होता है टोटली सब कुछ एक जगह पर इकट्ठा कर देना. सो दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. वॉट एवर इज देयर इन योर माइंड, यू हैव टू डंप दैट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन द पीस ऑफ पेपर. You should write everything that comes into your head, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense yet. Even if it doesn't make sense, you just have to write it. अगर आपके दिमाग में कुछ नहीं आ रहा, you just write nothing is in my mind right now. वो लिखते जाएं, थोड़ी देर में आपके दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ आ जाएगा and you start writing that. Give yourself a set amount of time. Don't just sit and do free writing just anyway. अपना टाइम नोट करके 5-10 मिनट्स के लिए अपने आप को फ्री राइटिंग का टाइम दे और फिर लिखे, मे बी 5 to 10 minutes, and write down everything that comes to your mind about the topic. Now look at this example. Now this is a free writing of a person who's been given a topic, और उनके माइंड में फ़िलहाल इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा, एंड लेट्स रीड थ्रू कि उन्होंने क्या लिखा है. दिस इज़ एन एग्जांपल ऑफ फ्री राइटिंग. आई हैव टू राइट अ पेपर अबाउट द एनवायरनमेंट. आई हैव नो आइडिया वेयर टू स्टार्ट. नाउ सी, जो भी दिमाग में उनके आया है वो उन्होंने लिखा है. आई नो देयर आर मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स विद द एनवायरनमेंट, बट आई डोंट नो मच अबाउट दिस टॉपिक. मे बी आई कुड टेक अ लुक एट माई बायोलॉजी बुक टू कम अप विद सम आइडियाज़. आई नो माई बायोलॉजी प्रोफेसर इज ऑल्सो रियली इन टू द एनवायरनमेंट, सो मे बी आई कुड आस्क फॉर हिज हेल्प. I remember he was talking about hybrid cars in the class the other day and how much better those are for the environment. What is a hybrid car? I know it uses some sort of alternative fuel and they are becoming very popular. Maybe that is something I could write about. Now see, जो भी है, कुछ इतनी सी लाइंस के बाद एटलीस्ट 2 पॉइंट्स उनके पास इंपॉर्टेंट आ गए हैं जिनमें से वो बाद में एलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज हिज बायोलॉजी प्रोफेसर और टीचर who can help him, and then hybrid cars. That is one important aspect which is helpful to the environment. They are supposed to write about the environment. तो एक फ्री राइटिंग से अगर 2 पॉइंट्स भी आपके इंपॉर्टेंट निकल आते हैं तो आई गेस दैट वुड हेल्प देम अ लॉट. नाउ देयर इज़ वन पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ रिसर्च कि वो या तो अपने बायोलॉजी की बुक जो है वो देख लें या बायोलॉजी के प्रोफेसर से बात कर लें, एंड दे वुड बी हेल्पिंग हिम. सो when the person will do research on the topic, they will find a lot of information, but once they are free writing, they can at least come up with ideas, and that's what happened. यहाँ इस free writing में हमें कम से कम 2 important ideas जो हैं वो पता चले. Second technique is brainstorming. Much like free writing, brainstorming involves capturing all of the thoughts, ideas and fragments in your head and writing them down on a piece of paper. Often brainstorming looks more like a list, while free writing may look more like a paragraph. As I just told you, ये difference होता है. आपकी जो free writing है वो paragraph की form में होती है और brainstorming एक list की form में होती है. With either strategy, your goal is to get as many ideas down on paper as you can. Now look at this example. आपके सेम टॉपिक के ऊपर फ्री राइटिंग की हुई, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग की है. एनवायरनमेंट, प्रॉब्लम्स, फ्यूचर, कार्स, अल्टरनेटिव फ्यूल्स, हाइब्रिड कार्स, कॉस्ट्स, बेनिफिट्स. बेनिफिट्स के आगे क्वेश्चन मार्क है. दैट मीन्स व्हाट बेनिफिट्स कैन बी देयर. उन्होंने उसको एलैबोरेट नहीं किया, लेकिन ये कुछ पॉसिबल पॉइंट्स हैं ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग के इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड जो बाद में एलैबोरेट करने पर एक बहुत अच्छा एस्से जो है वो बन सकते हैं. Now we move on to clustering. Now I'll show you a cluster in a minute. With this technique, you start with a circle in the middle that contains your main idea, and then you draw lines to other smaller circles that contain sub ideas or issues related to the main idea. अब इसमें ये होता है कि दरमियान में आप अपना टॉपिक रखते हैं और उससे ब्रांचेस निकलती हैं, और उन ब्रांचेस के साथ आप इम्पॉर्टेंट जो टॉपिक्स हैं, इंफॉर्मेशन है वो नोट करते हैं. क्लस्टरिंग को हम माइंड मैपिंग भी कहते हैं. सो डोंट गेट योर सेल्फ कन्फ्यूज्ड व्हेन यू आर आस्क्ड अबाउट माइंड मैपिंग. क्लस्टरिंग और माइंड मैपिंग बिल्कुल एक ही होते हैं. Try to group like ideas together so as to organize yourself. Same ideas, like ideas means same ideas को इकट्ठा रखने की कोशिश करें ताकि आप शुरू से ही एक organized piece of writing create करें. Now the example is about the value of a college education. इसके बारे में ये देखें, एक cluster बना हुआ है that gives you a very clear idea how the person views or looks at the advantages of about the value of a college education. In the middle, see, this is your cluster. Cluster का center है expectations, और उसमें से आपके 3 main points निकल रहे हैं: job skills, intellectual growth and social aspects of college. अब इन तीनों में से मज़ीद जो चीज़ें निकलेंगी वो आप उनके साथ रिलेट करेंगे. जॉब स्किल्स मतलब आपकी कॉलेज एजुकेशन का सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट क्या होता है? जॉब स्किल्स, एंड देन यू ग्रो इंटेलेक्चुअली. उसके अलावा सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ कॉलेज में एक रिलेटेड थॉट आई है, दैट इज़ करियर नेटवर्किंग. You network with others regarding your career, and then career networking का मतलब होता है jobs I wouldn't want and jobs I want. इसमें 2 possibilities होती हैं. जब when you network about your career, you tell the other person the kinds of jobs you will want और जो suit करेंगी आपको, and the kinds of job you would not want. अब the kinds of job you want is comedian and lion tamer, quite creative. और jobs I don't want is wait staff at Buddies and accountant. आप accountant नहीं बनना चाहते, Buddies is a restaurant और a cafe जहाँ आप waiter नहीं बनना चाहते. So जो रिलेटेड थॉट्स हैं उनसे मिलती जुलती थॉट्स उनके साथ क्लस्टर बनाएंगी, और जो मेन जो आपका टॉपिक है उससे रिलेटेड थॉट्स उसके साथ क्लस्टर बनाएंगे. सो सम स्टूडेंट्स व्हाट दे डू इज़ कि वो दरमियान में अपना टॉपिक लिख के सारी बातों को उसके इर्द गिर्द ब्रांच कर देते हैं, और उनमें से जो चीज़ें किसी एक ब्रांच से रिलेटेड होती है वो भी दूसरी साइड पे लिखी हुई होती हैं, वो उस ब्रांच से रिलेट करनी चाहिए, उसके साथ आनी चाहिए. सो जॉब्स आई वांट के साथ आएगा comedian, lion tamer. The person wants to be either a comedian or a lion tamer, and the jobs they wouldn't want in the future would be waiter and accountant. So this is how a cluster or a mind map works. Coming back to journalistic technique, as you may know, journalists have 6 important questions they need to answer about any story they report. Now journalistic questions की टेक्निक यूजुअली हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं जब कोई ऐसा टॉपिक हो जो न्यूज़पेपर रिपोर्टिंग के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट हो, जिसको आपको रिपोर्ट करना हो. सो वहाँ पर आप ये 5 क्वेश्चंस जो हैं ये पूछ सकते हैं. सो जर्नलिस्ट्स यूजुअली आस्क दीज 5 क्वेश्चंस इंक्लूडिंग हाउ, हु, व्हाट, व्हेन, वेयर, व्हाई एंड हाउ. By answering these questions, journalists can be certain that they have provided the most important information about an event, issue or problem to their readers. These questions are also useful to you as writers when you are describing an event or writing an informative essay. Now, एक informative essay और descriptive writing के लिए ये journalistic techniques इस्तेमाल होती हैं. Now when we go over to our essay writing, we will be talking about the kinds of essays, so you will have a very clear idea कि descriptive और informative essays में क्या फ़र्क होता है. जब आपको किसी चीज़ को describe करना होता है तो आप ये 5 questions पूछते हैं, and when you have to give information about something, for example an accident occurred on the road where you live, तो आप जब वो किसी को बता रहे होंगे तो इन 5 क्वेश्चंस में से आप कोई से 3-4 ज़रूर पूछेंगे. As with the exploded moments, this technique also allows you to make sure you have provided all of the important and specific details of a situation. So journalistic questions आपको सारी important details इकट्ठी करने में help करते हैं. Look at the example now. Suppose that your government professor has asked to write about the political conflict in the Middle East. गवर्नमेंट प्रोफेसर जो आपको गवर्नमेंट से रिलेटेड जो कोर्स है वो पढ़ाते हैं, उन्होंने आपसे कहा है कि पॉलिटिकल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन द मिडिल ईस्ट के बारे में लिखें. दैट्स अ गुड टॉपिक. यूजिंग द जर्नलिस्टिक टेक्निक यू कुड बिगिन वर्किंग ऑन द पेपर बाय आस्किंग योरसेल्फ द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस. हु इज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स? व्हाट इश्यूज मोस्ट क्लियरली डिवाइड दोज एंगेज्ड इन दिस डिस्प्यूट्स? When did the troubles in the Middle East begin and how have they developed over time? Where does the conflict seem most heated or violent? Why have those living in this area found it so difficult to resolve the situation, and how might this conflict be resolved? Now, the most organized form of questions one could ever find, journalistic questions. Regarding the political conflict in the Middle East, you can ask who is involved in the conflict. When you say Middle East, there are many different countries in under Middle East, the category of Middle East. So you have to ask who are they, how many are they, and what is the conflict. What issues most clearly divide those engaged in this dispute? What are the main issues? What are the problems or clashes between these countries or these nations जिन्होंने in इस dispute को पैदा किया हुआ है? When did the troubles in the Middle East begin? Like, you have to trace the historical background as we talked about earlier, and how have they developed over time? With time, what are the things that have changed? Where does the conflict seem most heated or violent? Now, where का question is very important. Which are the areas in Middle East जहाँ पे ये वाली conflict सबसे ज़्यादा heated और violent है, जहाँ ज़्यादा strong किस्म की जंग हो रही है, violent किस्म की जंग हो रही है, civilians के ऊपर क्या effect हो रहा है? Why have those living in this area found it so difficult to resolve the situation? Now, this is again one very important question regarding political conflict in the Middle East, that why is it that the problem has not still been solved? कि इतने लोगों की जानें जा चुकी हैं, कितने अरसे से ये लोग आपस में लड़ रहे हैं, तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है और अभी तक प्रॉब्लम का हल क्यों नहीं निकाला जा सका? How might this conflict be resolved? One very important ending question कि अब इस प्रॉब्लम को कैसे सॉल्व करना है, आपको इस एस्से में या पैराग्राफ या जो भी आप लिख रहे हैं उसमें ये भी बताना है. Using the journalistic technique helps you make sure you have answered all of the important questions. And when you have answered those questions, what happens is that you have a specific information जिसको बाद में आप मज़ीद elaborate करके अपना एक बहुत अच्छा essay जो है वो develop कर सकते हैं. Now, an important part of this handout is other useful strategies जो कि general हैं. We'll talk about that. Then why use these techniques? Why is pre-writing important? हमें क्यों करने की ज़रूरत होती है pre-writing? Why not just get the topic and start writing about it? And then there are other things, parting words, इनका यूज़ आप कैसे करते हैं वो भी हमें इस अभी पता चलेगा. Other useful strategies, aside from the strategies listed on these pages, it is also sometimes useful to discuss your ideas with a classmate, friend or professor. That verbal discussion, that exchange of ideas always helps in getting new things, because what might not come to your mind might come to someone else's mind, and then your professor can always help you focus on more important things. वो आपको गाइड इस तरह से कर सकते हैं कि वो facilitate कर सकते हैं, वो आपको उन areas, उन resources के बारे में बता सकते हैं जहाँ से आपको अपने topic से related information मिल सकती है. And then you can always discuss your topic with a friend or a classmate. Often brainstorming aloud and hearing your ideas in auditory fashion can help you think about ways to start your paper. Now, some teachers, what they do is कि वो class में discussion करवाते हैं. You write the topic on the board and you ask the class to generate ideas. Whatever comes to their mind, तो वो जब class 50-60 की class में जब हर mind जो है वो इसी चीज़ brainstorming या topics के से related ideas gather करने में लग जाता है, तो there are many very useful ideas coming up, and those ideas can be used to develop your essay or paragraph later on. A great resource is the writing lab. You can go to the writing lab. You do not have to have a rough draft to go to the writing lab. Often it is useful to go there and brainstorm ideas with one of the tutors. Now, there are tutors, उनके साथ आप अपना topic discuss कर सकते हैं, and they can always help you generate more ideas. Finally, before you begin your pre-writing techniques, make sure you thoroughly understand the purpose and audience for the assignment. This is one very important point. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप वो assignment क्यों लिख रहे हैं और किसके लिए लिख रहे हैं. If that assignment is to be presented to the people who are a lot more learned than even your professor, you are supposed to be very specific about that. You have to have very good, very factual and very correct information जो आप अपने essay में डालें. अगर वो assignment आपके classmates पढ़ेंगे तो of course your focus will be different. And if that assignment is going to your professor, your teacher, to be marked फॉर एन एग्ज़ाम या एज एन असाइनमेंट, तो उसका इफ़ेक्ट थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होगा. So always analyze your audience and your purpose of writing. Ask questions if you are unsure what you are supposed to do. It is difficult to pre-write if you do not understand the assignment. Yes, first of all, the understanding of the assignment is very important, because जब तक आपको topic समझ में नहीं आया होगा, you will never be able to pick up the required pre-writing technique to use for it. Now, why do we need to use pre-writing techniques? Though you have already used brainstorming, clustering, or any of a number of other pre-writing techniques, the particle, wave, field, and journalistic techniques are slightly more formal. Try these new ways of pre-writing and compare them to the previous strategies you used. The key to any pre-writing is finding something that works for you and also finding a technique that is comprehensive enough. Now, why to use any one of these techniques is that you need to have comprehensive information. You need to know कि कौन सी pre-writing technique आपके topic को best suit करती है. Whether you are supposed to pick up journalistic questions or you just need to free write about it, और या looping करने की ज़रूरत है, वो आपको तब समझ में आएगा जब आपको topic समझ में आया हुआ है and you know which pre-writing technique you are supposed to use. Jotting down a word or sentence or two for pre-writing is usually not enough. The more ideas you can get on paper in the early stages of writing, the stronger your final paper will be. Now, in the early stages of pre-writing, the more you gather the information, the more information you gather, the stronger your essay or paragraph will be. So, उसकी शुरू की जो stages हैं, उनमें ही आप अपनी pre-writing technique identify कर लें और उसे effectively use करके आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा information जो है वो इकट्ठी कर सकते हैं. Now, moving on to another handout. It is a one-page information that describes two additional pre-writing techniques. One is T-charts and the other one is bubble charts. Now let's look at T-charts. ये भी एक pre-writing technique है जो class में as an activity use की जा सकती है. If a teacher wants his or her students to write a small paragraph by the end of the class, they can ask them to use T-chart pre-writing technique. और इसमें अभी हम देखेंगे कि ये किस तरह के topics से related है, because हर pre-writing technique different topics के लिए ज़्यादा suitable हो सकती है. T-charts are a common way to start coming up with ideas for an academic paper. Not just academic paper, it can be an essay, it can be a paragraph, it can be a newspaper article. They can be used in many different ways, but basically take a piece of paper and draw a giant T on it. Now basically what you have to do with the T chart is that you have to take a piece of paper, draw a giant T, और उससे ये होगा कि आपका पेपर दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड हो जाएगा. Now if your students have to write on a topic like is it better to raise children in the country or the city, so इसमें क्या होगा कि आप like और dislike का एक बनाएंगे. Now if your students have to write on a topic like is it better to raise children in the country or the city, so what you can do is कि आप एक जो column है उसको like की heading दे दें, दूसरे को dislike की. So you can write city and country on each side of the T chart and list reasons why each place is good in each column. So यहाँ पर like dislike की example दी हुई है, लेकिन आप इसमें country और city लिख के उनके एडवांटेजेस और डिसएडवांटेजेस जो है वो नोट करते जाएं और आपके पास प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन आ जाएगी इन द एंड, एंड देन यू कैन डेवलप योर एसे. और इफ द टॉपिक इज समथिंग लाइक इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट टू हैव लॉट्स ऑफ फ्रेंड्स, सो यू कैन यूज ईच कॉलम फॉर येस एंड नो और प्रो एंड कॉन. If you have to write on a personal topic, you can list things you like and dislike, or things you do for fun and things you do for work or school. The T chart is very flexible but a little more organized than just writing a list. अब T chart और simple brainstorming list में फ़र्क क्या है कि T chart में already आपके पास plus और minus points आ जाते हैं. What you do is कि whenever you are given a topic that is argumentative, that in which you have to argue कि ये चीज़ ठीक है और ये चीज़ गलत है, उसमें you take a piece of paper, draw a giant T और उसमें plus points और negative points का दो columns बना लें और उस topic से रिलेटेड पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स जो है वो लिखते जाएं. So what you are going to get is that by the end आपके पास दोनों पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव बातों से रिलेटेड एक स्पेसिफिक इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है वो आ जाएगी, और उससे जब आप इलेबोरेट करेंगे तो एक आर्ग्यूमेंट जो है वो डेवलप हो जाएगा. बट विद एन आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव ऐसे यू नीड टू यूज़ आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव लैंग्वेज. आर्ग्यूमेंट के जो ट्रांजिशनल वर्ड्स होते हैं वो आपको यूज़ करने हैं. दैट वील टॉक अबाउट इन डिटेल इन योर लेक्चर ऑन एसेज. Next additional pre-writing technique is bubble charts. That is another way to brainstorm ideas before you write. It's kind of a brainstorming. It's a bit like an outline but more free form. Write your topic in the middle of the page and circle it. Then write sub ideas related to the main topic around it. Circle them and draw lines connecting them to the main topic. Now think of smaller sub-ideas related to the first set of sub-ideas. You can keep going in as much detail as you like or need to. And you can also draw connections between different sets of ideas. So this is exactly like clustering or mind mapping. इसका सिर्फ नाम जो है वो उन्होंने change कर दिया है, bubble charts. And you can also draw connections between different sets of ideas. For example, in the bubble chart in the picture, the topic is computers. Here you may not be able to read it properly, but the topic is computers. Then the sub ideas are different reasons to use computer: for fun, then we have for school, and another one is for work. A computer, for fun, for school, for work. अब for fun आप computer कैसे यूज़ करते हैं? You play games and you chat, or you use social networking. And for school you use it for research, you use it for making your assignments. And then for work you email, you collaborate with your colleagues, and similarly you make arrangements and manage stuff that you have. So this is how computer is used for three things. उसके main तीन जो divisions बनाने के बाद उन divisions से related जो ideas हैं वो उसके साथ आप cluster करेंगे, फिर उनको relate करेंगे आपस में. फॉर स्कूल फॉर एग्जाम्पल है तो ईमेल भी फॉर स्कूल के लिए कर सकते हैं, वर्क के लिए भी आप रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. उन्होंने रेड से उसको कनेक्ट कर दिया है. Notice that email and research are important to both school and work, as I just said. So इस तरह से आप अपने ideas को interconnect करके bubble chart में एक specific information जो है वो इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. Now here is another very long handout on pre-writing techniques. We'll just go through, skim and scan through it for some important information. It's all revision and repetition that we have already talked about. But there are some very important information, very important examples that have been given. So let's quickly go through it and see what is that. Now your professor has just given you an assignment. It starts off as your teacher has given you an assignment. You are required to write a paper about a specific topic or to come up with a topic of your own. You begin to panic. Where do I start? You may ask yourself, how do I begin? Now it's very usual to have a very blank mind in the beginning when you start a pre-writing, और जब आपको कोई topic लिखने के लिए दिया जाता है. Writing is one skill that is not very sharp with Pakistani students and they are reluctant. हमारे यहाँ writing होती है, एग्ज़ाम में जितना ज़्यादा लिखेंगे उस पे ज़्यादा नंबर जो है वो मिल जाएंगे, लेकिन writing skills is a lot more than that. It's something very scientific, very organized, and if you follow the rules and all the techniques that it gives, you can become a very good, very organized, very creative writer. So for example, your teacher has given you a topic, or you are asked to find a topic of your own, and you are totally panicked and you are worried कि अब मैं क्या करूँ, कहाँ से शुरू करूँ, what could be the possible topic. First of all, take a deep breath and relax. You can do this. Aside from maintaining a positive attitude, here are a couple of ideas you can use to get yourself organized. Keep in mind that the following techniques and advice can be useful for both research papers and regular essays. Now इस हैंडआउट में रिसर्च पेपर्स या थीसिस के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन दी है कि आपको उसे किस तरह से ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, बट इट कैन ऑलवेज बी यूज्ड फॉर रेगुलर एसेज जो आपको एज अ स्टूडेंट इस कोर्स के लिए लिखने पड़ेंगे. So pre-writing techniques, the following procedures help you to unlock your memory and to associate your ideas with other experiences and recollections in order to come up with a workable and interesting paper topic. Now यहाँ पर आपको बताया है कि आप टॉपिक कैसे चूज करेंगे सबसे पहले. सो दे स्टार्ट ऑफ फ्रॉम वन स्टेप बिफोर. In the previous examples we talked about when we already had the topic. कभी कभार आपको टीचर टॉपिक का फ्रीडम आपको दे देते हैं कि आप टॉपिक अपना खुद चूज़ कर लें. सो दैट्स व्हेन यू हैव टू get yourself organized and find a workable interesting topic. 3 such activities involve directed questioning, free writing and brainstorming. अब सिर्फ टॉपिक को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए अगर आप देखें तो आपको 3 एक्टिविटीज़ हेल्प कर सकती हैं. दैट इज़ डायरेक्टेड क्वेश्चनिंग, free writing and brainstorming. Now directed questioning again is another example of another name for journalists questions जो हमने अभी जिनके बारे में बात की. You may not need to use all 3, but you should acquaint yourself with each activity to find one that is most productive for you. Directed questioning, if you already have a topic that interests you but are not sure how to approach it, try directed questioning. Rather than encouraging you to expand your thinking, this method helps you to narrow your broad ideas. Now, directed questioning आपके broad ideas को narrow down करता है. आपके mind में किसी topic से related बहुत सारे ideas आ रहे हैं, लेकिन ये जो 5 questions हैं, 5 W's and 1 how, they help you narrow down your questions, that is bring them to a specific level. So these can be the questions: how can I describe the topic, how can I define the topic, how does the topic resemble or differ from other topics, how does the topic work, how does the topic affect other things, can I arrange for or against the topic, can I argue for or against the topic, why does this topic interest me, what ideas are generally associated with the topic. सो ये सारे क्वेश्चन जब आप अपने आप से पूछेंगे, इनमें से 3-4 के भी अगर आप डिटेल्ड जवाब दे लेते हैं तो आपके पास टॉपिक भी आ जाता है और उससे रिलेटेड कुछ इनिशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन भी. फ्री राइटिंग, we have talked about it, so we'll quickly move through it. Many people find that they can bring ideas for developing a topic to the surface through free writing, a strategy designed to free ideas from your subconscious mind and get them down on paper. Subconscious mind से ideas को freedom मिलता है and they come on to the paper. This kind of writing is free in another sense. You don't need to worry about punctuation, correct grammar usage, etc. So that is why it is called free writing, कि इसमें किसी किस्म की grammar की mistakes का tension जो है वो आपने नहीं लेनी होती. Your main objective is to write for a sustained period of time, 10 to 15 minutes without stopping. Yes, you have to give yourself some time to write freely. Free writing can be open or focused. If you really do not have any idea what to write about, just begin to write down your impressions and thoughts in an open free write. So कुछ कभी कभार ऐसा होता है आपका माइंड बिल्कुल ब्लैंक होता है, यू सिंपली हैव नो आइडिया व्हाट टू राइट अबाउट. सो उस वक्त भी आपके माइंड में जो भी आ रहा है आप लिखते जाएं. Filling the page with words may coax something from your mind. जब आप लिखते जा रहे हैं कुछ ना कुछ आपके माइंड में ज़रूर आएगा. Once you have done this, choose an idea or two from your open free write to explore in a more focused free write, and that is called looping. एक दफ़ा फ्री राइटिंग करने के बाद आप दूसरी दफ़ा उसी के अंदर से एक टॉपिक चूज़ करके उसके बारे में फ्री राइटिंग करते हैं. Writing down your thoughts about a more specific idea that came up in your open free write will narrow down your topic even more and hopefully will lead to the idea that will be the basis for your paper. If you get stuck while you are free writing and cannot think of anything else to write, write the same word over and over again until you can think of something to write. This way you will not break your train of thought. ये तरीका होता है, like it hardly ever happens कि आपके दिमाग में कभी कुछ भी ना आ रहा हो. When it does happen, तो आपको क्या करना है कि जो माइंड में आइडिया है आप उसे बार बार लिखें. And by doing that, you will be able to find at least something जो नई होगी. तो आपका जो ट्रेन ऑफ थॉट है वो भी नहीं टूटेगा और आप कुछ ना कुछ लिख भी रहे होंगे. Next one is brainstorming. Another way to get ideas down on paper quickly is through brainstorming. Start with a significant word or phrase and try to record everything that comes to your mind. अब ये brainstorming एक list की form में होती है. If you reach a point where you can no longer come up with any new ideas, ask a friend to help you brainstorm some fresh topics. इसमें कोई problem नहीं है. आप ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप खुद ही लिखें. It's not a kind of a test. इसमें आप अपने friends से पूछ सकते हैं, आप अपने siblings से, घर में family से आप discuss करें वो topic. There can हर इंसान के डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंसेस की वजह से बहुत से डिफरेंट आइडियाज़ आ सकते हैं. सो योर ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग कैन बिकम more comprehensive. After you have finished brainstorming, take a look at the material you have generated. What items seems to go together? What further connections can you see? What ideas and terms do you want to develop? What idea or concept seems to dominate your list? What material is surprising? You may decide to use most of the items you produced, or you may find only a few fragments to keep. However, one of these fragments may point the way to a good paper. Any one of the topics, any one of the piece of information in brainstorming can help you develop a very good essay or research paper जो भी आप लिख रहे हैं. Now, audience का ख्याल रखना बहुत important होता है. You need to know and you need to realize what kind of audience are you writing for? Is it just to be presented to your classmates? Is it to be given to a group of professors to analyze and evaluate? Or is it going to be published in a research journal? Or is it a newspaper article that will go into a newspaper? और उसे किस type की audience पढ़ेगी? Of course, the masses will be exposed to it. So आपका जो audience है, that is very important. You should know who you are writing for. As you prepare to write about your topic, it is important to consider the audience for whom you are writing. If your audience is only your professor, for example, he or she may not require as much background information about a topic as would be required for a more general audience of your peers. Knowing who your audience is will help you decide how much information to present and in what manner to present it. Be sure to ask your professor if you're unsure about the audience your paper should be intended for. Now, इसमें दो तरह की चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. आप जो क्लास के लिए ऐसे लिख रहे हैं, अगर वो ऐसे आपके प्रोफेसर के पास जाएगा, वो चेक करेंगे और आपको वापस कर देंगे, तो वहाँ पर प्रोफेसर को शायद इतने बैकग्राउंड इन्फॉर्मेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं होगी जितनी आपके दोस्तों को या आपके क्लासमेट्स को ज़रूरत है. अगर आप वही ऐसे अपने क्लासमेट्स के सामने क्लास में प्रेजेंट करेंगे तो उसमें बैकग्राउंड इन्फॉर्मेशन ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, बिकॉज योर क्लासमेट्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज़ as equal as yours. So but your professors or your teachers understanding is higher than yours. तो आपको उस level पर लेकर आना है अपना essay या research paper. So be sure that you are very well aware of your audience in this case. Now, organizing your topic, this you can go through yourself. This is when you don't have a topic. लेकिन इस कोर्स में ये होगा कि आपको टॉपिक्स दिए जाएंगे और आपको उन पे असाइनमेंट्स बनानी है या एसेज लिखने हैं. Now, one very important pre-writing technique is developing an outline. जब आप एक आउटलाइन बना लेते हैं तो इट्स वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू पिक अप द पॉइंट्स एंड एलैबोरेट अपॉन देम. उस तरह ये होता है कि आपके पास हर पॉइंट से रिलेटेड एक पैराग्राफ आ जाता है. इफ देयर आर 5 पॉइंट्स, देयर आर 5 पैराग्राफ्स और एक सब्सटेंशियल अमाउंट आपके पास वर्ड्स की हो जाती है एंड यू हैव डेवलप्ड एन एसे. उसको थोड़ा बहुत उसकी कुछ थोड़ा सा रिफाइन करके उसको एडिट करके आप एक बहुत अच्छा एसे जो है वो डेवलप कर सकते हैं. वंस यू हैव अ जनरल आइडिया ऑफ व्हाट विल गो इन द इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी एंड कंक्लूजन ऑफ योर पेपर, द नेक्स्ट स्टेप कैन बी टू डेवलप अ मोर स्पेसिफिक आउटलाइन इन विच यू ब्रेक डाउन व्हाट स्पेसिफिकली विल बी इन ईच पैराग्राफ of your essay. Although some students find it more effective to create an outline based on a draft that they have already written, creating an outline ahead of time can help keep your writing more focused than inventing paragraphs as you go. Now, outline is important कि वो आपके पास पहले से बनी हुई पड़ी होती है. You look at it and start writing. But when you develop your outline or paragraphs as you write, तो वो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है because your thinking process is going on and you are putting that thinking process onto the paper और उसमें problem हो जाती है. वहाँ पर you need a lot of more time to edit, refine that piece of information that you are creating. Either method can create great writing. You might want to experiment with both methods to see which one works best for you. The purpose of an outline helps organize your ideas. An outline presents your material in a logical form. An outline shows the relationship between the ideas in your writing. An outline constructs an ordered overview of your writing. An outline defines boundaries and groups within your paper. So बहुत specific कर देती है outline आपकी writing को. Now here is an example of outline covering the topic of rainforest preservation. Let's look at this and then we move on. Introduction में आप लिखेंगे square miles, location और thesis. Thesis आपका क्या होगा? Because of the valuable characteristics rainforests possess, the rapid destruction of the forests is creating negative effects on the environment. So थीसिस का मतलब है, थीसिस स्टेटमेंट आपका क्या है इसमें, बिकॉज ऑफ द वैल्यूएबल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रेन फॉरेस्ट पोजेस, द रैपिड डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट इज क्रिएटिंग नेगेटिव इफेक्ट्स ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट। अब आपको यहाँ पर वैल्यूएबल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बताने हैं रेन फॉरेस्ट के, एंड देयर रैपिड डिस्ट्रक्शन or the negative effects that the environment is facing because of these. ये दो basic important बातें हैं. So characteristics of rainforests, valuable characteristics, a variety of species, value of rainforests, then we have medicinal value and food value. Medicinal value में because rainforest में ऐसे पौधे होते हैं जो medicine बनाने में काम आते हैं, and then वहाँ food भी होती है. The destruction of rainforests, rate at which rainforests are destroyed, reasons why rainforests are destroyed. This is just basic outline and you can see almost everything is covered in this outline. और जो भी इस outline को देख के essay लिखने की कोशिश करेगा वो उसका essay बहुत अच्छा develop हो जाएगा. And then other reasons are poverty, large company projects. Poverty क्यों? Because जो areas हैं जहाँ पे लोग रहते हैं और वो जंगल है, वो अपने उनके पास कोई काम नहीं, वो गरीब लोग होते हैं, तो अपनी कुछ पैसे हासिल करने के लिए वो उस एरिया में दरख्तों को बेचते हैं, और व्हेन पीपल कट देम ऑफ तो डिफॉरेस्टेशन का काम होता है. लार्ज कंपनी प्रोजेक्ट्स, उनकी वजह से व्हेन दे आर बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्टिंग और ह्यूज प्रोजेक्ट्स, तो उसके लिए दे नीड ओपन लैंड, और ओपन लैंड जहाँ पे रेन फॉरेस्ट होंगे उन्हें फिर ख़त्म करना पड़ता है. इफेक्ट्स ऑन एनवायरनमेंट, एक्सटिंक्शन ऑफ स्पीशीज़, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एंड अदर रिएक्शंस. Extinction of species, the animals or birds or insects that are living in those forests वो ख़त्म हो जाते हैं. ग्लोबल वार्मिंग का इफेक्ट हो रहा होता है बिकॉज दरख्त जितने कम होते जाएंगे ज़मीन पर, मौसम जो है वो बहुत तेज़ी से वेरिएशंस उसमें आएंगी. रिएक्शंस क्या हैं उसके? देन वी मूव ऑन टू कंक्लूजन, रीस्टेट द थीसिस. उसी थीसिस स्टेटमेंट को थोड़ा सा रीस्टेट करेंगे कि रोल डिफॉरेस्टेशन का क्या है और इसकी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस क्या हो सकती हैं. दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू टॉक about in the end or conclusion. So this is a basic outline that you can develop. This is the kind of outline that you can develop with any essay that you are writing. So जो आपको बाद में हेल्प कर सकती हैं एक बहुत अच्छा essay या project बनाने में. Now while writing you need to have transition words. They are very important. They are imperative to creating a good research paper or an essay or even a paragraph. किसी भी किस्म की writing के लिए आपको transitions use करनी है. Once you understand how to organize the ideas in your paper, the next step is to figure out how to create logical transitions between those ideas. अब आपको simply ideas का अलग अलग paragraph बना के एक paragraph, दूसरा paragraph, तीसरा paragraph नहीं लिखना. You need to have a proper sequence and linkage between every paragraph. One paragraph ends and by the time you read the last line आपको idea हो जाए कि next paragraph में क्या होगा. This is called transitional value of that particular piece of writing. So a transition serves as a bridge connecting one paragraph, sentence or word with another. Not only does a transition signal a connection, it also identifies the kind of connection by indicating the readers how the item preceding the transition relates to that which follows. अब जब transition words आप use करते हैं उन्हीं से हमें reader को idea हो जाता है कि next आने वाली चीज़ जो है वो किस हद तक पहले वाली चीज़ से related है. So transitions help readers anticipate how the next paragraph or sentence will affect the meaning of what they have just read. That's exactly I just said. So let's look at different transitions and then we move on. Transitional words and phrases showing logical reactions. To introduce another item in a series, first, second, in the second place, for one thing, for another, next, then, furthermore, moreover, in addition, finally, last, also, similarly, besides, and as well as. These are the different kinds of examples of transition words that can be used to introduce an item, another item in a series. The next one is to introduce an illustration or other specification. In particular, specifically, for instance, for example, that is, and namely. These are different examples to show or introduce an illustration or an example in your writing. Then to introduce a result or a cause, we use consequently, as a result, and hence, accordingly, then, because, since, for. These are also called subordinating conjunctions that connect various sentences and paragraphs together. To introduce a restatement, when you are stating the same fact in other words right after the first one, that is, in other words, in simpler terms, to put it differently, to introduce a conclusion or summary, in conclusion, finally, all in all, evidently, clearly, actually, to sum up, altogether, of course. Now this is for the conclusion or summary. And then to introduce an opposing point, जब कोई opposite बात करनी है, however, yet, nevertheless, on the contrary, on the other hand, in contrast, neither, nor. To introduce a concession to an opposing view, certainly, naturally, granted, and to resume the original line of reasoning after a concession, nonetheless, all the same, even though, still, nevertheless. Now, these were all possible kinds of transitions that you can use to make your essay more comprehensive, more organized, and more cohesive and in proper sequence and related to each other. Every paragraph needs to have a bridge, have a connection with the other one. Now, just to revise what we did today, we talked about all the possible pre-writing techniques with their examples. We talked about in detail about free writing, about clustering or mind mapping, brainstorming, and journalistic questions. And we also talked about some additional pre-writing techniques like T-charts or bubble charts. And in the last handout, we discussed how to organize your topic, how to use transition words, and how to make an outline, because an outline is one very basic pre-writing technique that almost all writers use. So this was a kind of a revision or a review of what we did today. This was lecture number 15. This is the end of lecture number 15. I hope you have a very clear idea of what pre-writing techniques is. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about each pre-writing technique separately with its examples and student samples. So by then, we'll see you again. Thank you very much.